is up, YouTube? It's your boy John and Do, and I'm coming back at you with another Baseball Superstars 2022 video, my boys. Alright, my boys, I want to just bring some quick knowledge to you guys, so I'm going to try to keep this one really quick, but I want to make sure that we discuss something. This has been a talking point that I've been wanting to do for a while, and right now with the Shining Angels buff, I feel like it's no better time than to actually talk about it now. So what we're going to talk about is placement trainers, dual trainers, and also training reward all. First, we're going to talk about placement. Now, originally a trainer has a 1 in 6 chance to land on their stat. So basically it's a 16.6666, etc., etc. It's an infinite number. But for the sake of math, we'll use 17%. So your original trainers have a 17% chance to land on their stat to trigger a special training as well. How the special training works for them to trigger that is infinity. The more infinity they have, the higher chance they have to trigger that special training. 100 affinity is a 100% chance. 70 affinity is a 70% chance. 20 affinity is a 20% chance. So that's why you want to make sure you have affinity cores, so you can give them that higher chance to trigger that special training as fast as possible. Now, let's get to the advanced stats, my boys. You have a 17% chance to land on that stat. Placement automatically adds another 15% chance, meaning that your trainer will have a 32% chance to land on that stat. So if they have placement, 32% chance, almost a 1 in 3 shot to actually land on the stat of their attribute. So, like with Michaela here, she has training placement, so she has a 32% chance to land on freaking int. Now, remember, even though she has a 32% chance, she still has a higher chance to land on another stat, which is why we get so many dud runs. But still, that's the highest chance that you can get to land on one stat. Now, moving on, she also has training reward all, which training reward all only works really, really well. Like, let's say if you have other trainers, like, you know, as in Michaela's case, you have Dex, Rachel. So if Rachel was to trigger a Dex training and it was for 100 Dex in total, if Michaela was there, she would add another 40% there, meaning that she would make that training 140 Dex instead of it being just 100 Dex. That's how training reward all works and why it's so wonderful as well. Training reward all characters can boost any stat, but they still need another trainer to trigger that special training as well. Otherwise, it doesn't get boosted as much. Like if it's a training for 10 and you boosted 4 stat points, that's not much. But if it's a training for 100 and you boosted 40 more stat points to 140, that's a lot. So that's how training reward all works. But it definitely works better when they land on another training where a special training has happened, my boys. Moving on to duels, my boys, and I've said this plenty of times, Hyper to me was always the best duel in the game. She's just getting her time to shine now. The reason why she's the best duel in the game is because she has the training reward all. She has a level 3 UR skill with the top batter blessing, and she's a duel. So that's why to me she was always the best dual trainer in the game. Now she's just getting her time to shine, and you guys are noticing that as well. Also still to me has the best looking bat in the game. But moving on. Duels have a 1 in 3 shot. 33% chance to land on the 2 stats of their choice. The affinity thing still applies. You want to get them to 100 affinity as fast as possible so they have a 100% chance to trigger the special training. But what a duel brings to the table is that, once again, they can land on either stat. They still have a 33% chance to land on either stat to give you a good training, my boys. So you're not stuck when you're using a duel. You're not like, oh man, will I get the 33% chance. It's like they have placement, but instead of it being on one stat, it's on two. So they have a very high chance still to land on something to give you a good shot at something. Another thing, the same thing applies with what I was saying with Training War All. If Hyper was to land on, if you was running like the old strength decks, she can still help you there. She still helps you even when she lands on the decks and triggers the special training. That's another 40% added. Same thing with the Int, another 40% added. If you get Michaela and Hyper to trigger, it's quite amazing on the Int that they can bring as well. Even when she goes on decks with Rachel now, she's bringing you a lot of decks as well. So that's just something I wanted to talk about, and I've been saying I was going to talk about it for a while. Hope that helps you guys a lot on understanding how duels function, how placement functions, and also how Affinity and Training War All works as well. With that said, my boys, like I said, this was going to be a quick one, and I hope this was a nice, fast, quick one for you. You guys have a good one. Y'all stay good and stay safe out there.
P.O.P. all the time.
Peace, my boys.